Kevin had always believed that courage meant standing up for those who couldn't defend themselves, even when the odds were stacked impossibly high. That philosophy had gotten him into trouble more times than he could count, but today would prove to be different in ways he never imagined. The marketplace of Cinderhaven bustled with its usual chaos: merchants hawking exotic wares, street performers entertaining crowds, and the constant hum of 1,000 conversations. Kevin navigated through the throng, his messenger bag heavy with deliveries for his courier job. The pay was modest, but it kept food on the table and a roof over his head in this strange city where humans were a minority among the various magical races. That's when he heard it: high-pitched squeaking followed by cruel laughter. In a narrow alley between two stone buildings, Kevin discovered 3 teenage orcs surrounding something small and shimmering. As he approached, his heart sank. 3 baby dragons, no larger than house cats, huddled together. Their scales glinted like polished gems, one ruby red, one sapphire blue, and one emerald green. They chirped frantically, tiny wings fluttering uselessly as the orcs poked at them with sticks. "Leave them alone," Kevin shouted before his brain could counsel caution. The largest orc, easily twice Kevin's size with tusks that could gore a bull, turned with a sneer. "Mind your business, human. These little pests were stealing from the bakery." Kevin stepped closer, positioning himself between the bullies and the dragons. "They're babies. They don't know any better. I'll pay for whatever they took." The orc's eyes narrowed. "Do you think your human coins matter here? This is about teaching vermin a lesson." What happened next was less heroic battle and more desperate scramble. Kevin wasn't a fighter, he was a delivery boy with a conscience. But when the orc raised his stick to strike one of the cowering dragonlings, something primal took over. Kevin lunged forward, catching the blow on his forearm. Pain exploded up his arm, but he gritted his teeth and shoved the orc backward. He yelled at the baby dragons, though he doubted they understood. They didn't run. Instead, they huddled behind Kevin's legs, their tiny claws gripping his pants as they trembled. The fight was brief and brutal. Kevin took more hits than he landed, but he kept his body between the orcs and the dragonling. A punch to his jaw sent him sprawling, and he tasted copper. The world tilted, but through blurred vision, he saw the orcs advancing on the babies once more. "Stop!" the single word cut through the chaos like a blade through silk. The temperature in the alley dropped 10 degrees instantly. The orcs froze mid-step, their faces draining of color. A woman stood at the alley's entrance, backlit by the afternoon sun. No, not a woman. As she stepped forward, Kevin's battered mind struggled to process what he was seeing. She was tall, impossibly tall, with skin that seemed to shimmer between human flesh and crimson scales. Her eyes glowed like molten gold, and when she breathed, wisps of smoke curled from her nostrils. Jasmine, the dragon matriarch of Cinderhaven, had arrived. "My children," she said softly, and the 3 baby dragons squeaked in joy, scampering past Kevin toward their mother. She knelt, her elegant dress pooling around her as she gathered them into her arms, inspecting each one with maternal concern. The orcs had gone from aggressive to absolutely terrified. They dropped to their knees, heads bowed so low their tusks nearly touched the cobblestones. "Mercy, matriarch," the largest one pleaded. "We didn't know. We thought they were strays." "You thought?" Jasmine's voice was dangerously quiet, that it was acceptable to torment children regardless of whose they were. She stood, her full height revealed. The air around her shimmered with barely contained heat. "Leave now and consider yourselves fortunate that I have more pressing concerns than dealing with bullies today." The orcs scrambled away so fast they nearly trampled each other. Only then did Jasmine turn her full attention to Kevin, who was struggling to his feet, using the wall for support. Blood dripped from his split lip, and his left eye was already swelling shut. "You defended my children," she stated, studying him with those unsettling golden eyes. "I didn't know they were yours," Kevin mumbled through his injuries. They needed help." Something shifted in Jasmine's expression, surprise perhaps, or respect. She moved closer, and Kevin tried not to flinch. Up close, she was breathtaking and terrifying in equal measure. She raised one hand, and Kevin felt warmth spread through his body. His pain faded, bruises healing, the split in his lip knitting together. "You risked yourself for strangers," she said, "for those you perceived as weak and helpless, knowing you would lose." The baby dragons chirped from where they clung to her dress, peeking out at Kevin with curious, adoring eyes. "Such courage is rare." Kevin shrugged awkwardly. "Anyone would have done the same." "No," Jasmine said firmly. "They would not. Most in this city cross a street when they see injustice. They convince themselves it's not their problem." She paused, considering. "Kevin Harrison, courier? Yes, I know who you are now. This city has eyes everywhere, and I see all that happens within my domain." Kevin's stomach dropped. He'd just discovered that the ruler of the entire city knew his name. "You have my gratitude," Jasmine continued, "and my protection. From this day forward, you walk under the aegis of the dragon matriarch. No harm shall come to you within Cinderhaven's walls." She smiled, revealing teeth that were just slightly too sharp. "And should you ever need anything, work, shelter, assistance, you need only call upon me." Before Kevin could respond, she produced a scale from seemingly nowhere. It was the size of his palm, deep crimson, and warm to the touch. Keep this. It will mark you as one under my protection. The baby dragons chirped their goodbyes, and then Jasmine was leaving, her children in tow, her presence fading like smoke on the wind. Kevin stood in the alley, holding a dragon scale, his mind reeling. He'd come to work expecting another ordinary day. Instead, he'd learned that sometimes, doing the right thing changed everything.